go ahead and do the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3, consent agenda. And I think we read each one of these.
You do not have to read each one.
I'm sorry?
You do not have to read each
Oh,
one.
okay.
I will just say, obviously we have a lot of school activity fundraisers. This is we're approving all the fundraisers that have been submitted for the year. Most of them are all the same. There may be one or two new ones. I think I saw a new candle one, but most of them are just pretty much the same, so.
I saw that we're renewing the Renaissance, and so we like the data we're receiving from that, and it seemed to be good.
Yeah.
We have the Mercy Hospital sponsorship agreement on here finally, and it has been reviewed by the attorney.
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
I was just saying multiple. Yeah.
And then things like the Extreme and File Wave, those are the same.
They're the same that we do every year.
Yeah,
And we're
okay.
just renewing, yeah.
You may notice on Dr. Schellenberger's consulting agreement, that is $300 less than it was last year, and that was kind of just a conversation with him and Dr. Jasper and I of, still enjoying his expertise and knowledge, but right now we've been having a scheduled meeting every month, and this will be more of a on-call basis and kind of a phasing, but just so it is less than it was last year, but he's been a great resource for us this year, and we appreciate it. It's a way to kind of keep that connection, and just have him to call when we need. It's been great.
Yeah, that's good.
A lot with United Systems I see on here. It seems like more than normal. Does that provide us where we need to be? And
Yeah.
I mean, are we?
A lot of that stuff, some of the agreements we have through other companies that they provide for us, like the FileWave helps us manage our Apple and Mac devices and stuff like that, and then the Extreme is the access points renewal, so they manage all that stuff for us. So it's mainly just a quote we have to get signed every year where they kind of renew it for us. So yeah, but
It gets us in a good spot.
It does.
Like,
it does.
I mean,
Yeah.
What
Yeah, we have a good relationship with them, and we're always pretty well taken care of by their staff and everything. Our resource here, Travis, has been great over the years, and he's been with us. I mean, he's been with the United Systems probably 15 years. He's probably been at Bethany all those years. So yeah, they provide good service for us.
Make a motion to approve item 3, A, B, C, D
Second.
through Q, I guess it is.
Roll call vote.
Roll call vote, and then you'll read it. Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
and Jaggers.
Yes. Item 4, approve the financial fund reports.
Okay. So this is our final one. We're gonna start with activity fund. So our ending balance for activity fund this year is $734,000. Last year's board meeting at this time was $577,000. So everybody's fundraised, brought in a lot of money. We've also paid more invoices than we did last year, and we still have a higher ending balance. So we've fundraised a lot. They did a really good job. All of the accounts, most of them look good. Some people don't have any money right now, but they'll start again. They'll start again next year. But they all did really well. So the function summary report. So we had a budget this year of $19.7 million. We have a balance still of $1.5 million, so we did really well. We didn't even come close to going over or spending, overspending, so that looked good. Our building fund function summary report, same situation. We had a budget of $1.8 million, and we still had $800,000 left to spend, so we did really well.
I have a question about that.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you appropriated and expended, and we have a balance of 1.5 million, is that what you said?
Yes.
What happens to that money? Does it roll over to next year?
It rolls over to next year, yeah.
Okay.
And we'll
To
talk
be used?
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about that here when we get to the tracking sheet.
Okay.
Because we do have a plan for some of that money.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
yeah. Any other questions on that? Okay. Okay, so next we have the tracking sheet. So in most all of our function codes, we over collected, which was really good. There are very few that we under collected on. One of them was Title II, and we've just had a lot of trouble getting federal claims, but it did not hurt us. We also didn't have as much come in the Meachup grant, and this was the last year for that, as was projected. So otherwise, we did really well. We had a grand total revenue of $18.8 million. Last year, we had a fund balance of $4.5 million. We are looking at, we're gonna lapse in $773,000. That means that last year when the fiscal year was closed, there were $773,000 worth of expenses encumbered, and we didn't end up spending all of that. So there was $773,000 left that we did not spend. And so we have a projected fund balance this year, or a projected carryover of $5.9 million. And so that looks like a lot. It's actually not. It goes quickly. So we have half of the roofing project coded in this fiscal year. The other half will come out of the next fiscal year, and that's gonna be about another $800,000 or $900,000. So when we're looking at this, I would say probably definitely about $5 million. We're definitely going to look at buying a couple diesel buses, and so that could be $250,000 or maybe even a little bit more. We're also going to, Mr. Mont, our maintenance director, has worked to put together a preventative maintenance schedule. And so we're gonna start looking at replacing a couple HVAC units every year. We're also going to have the carpet and flooring on a replacement schedule, and we're gonna try to work with Mr. Forrester and get some of our technology on a regular maintenance schedule and get things moving out. So I anticipate that, we'll have a good carryover next year, but there's already a plan for that money, and it does go quickly, even though it looks like a lot. So any questions for me on that?
So why is it that we have that much money left over? I mean,
Well, one of the reasons is we were wrapping up the COVID, the ESSER funding, the
Oh.
special funding. So we actually, one of the reasons this changed this afternoon is we got about 400,000 or 350, 400,000 today in federal claims from the ESSER COVID money. And so
and that's in this
and that's in this,
Yeah.
yes. So we also had there were several special education projects that had ESSER money that we claimed in this year. There was an ESSER 2 project that we claimed $150,000 in, but it's all gone. And so I can't remember, I think we probably have in the realm of $250,000 to $400,000 left of the ESSER, but then that'll be it. So that's just extra revenue that's come in this year and in the last couple of years that we won't have moving forward.
So of that 5 million, are there rules related to how we can use some of that money?
There are rules to pretty much all of it.
Yeah.
So there are, a portion of it will be child nutrition funds that we
Okay.
carry over, and they have to be spent on things like child nutrition.
Right.
There are, obviously, we have like gifted and talented funds, so we pay some salary of gifted and talented teachers and things like that. You know, there are different pockets of money that are for different things. But there is a large amount that we can, you know, buy supplies, buy
Right.
materials, do different projects with.
Like buy buses and.
Yeah, like buy buses and do maintenance
Mhm.
and that kind of thing, yeah. Any other questions?
I have another question.
Okay.
So, is there a point that it's too much to carry over?
There is a point that there's
Okay.
too much to carry over.
What is that point?
So we can only carry over 17% of our total revenue that we collect in, and we subtract out our federal funds. And we are monitoring that, and we're in a good place.
Okay, good.
And you can do that for 2 years before you start being penalized
I see.
on that.
Yeah.
Do they just fine you, or how do you, they penalize?
Yeah, so they'll take the money back.
Back, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we definitely have our eyes on some things, and as you
Yeah,
know, as well,
right.
definitely have our eyes on some things that we're gonna begin getting some prices on that are not going to be cheap things to look at. So
Sure.
this is a good thing, and once we get that full picture, as she said, I think this could go very quickly.
Right,
And
sure.
so it's a good place to be right now, though, and you know, even things like activity buses, where 2 diesel buses, but diesel buses that you can take somewhere and, you know, show the pride of Bethany instead of, you know, some of the buses that we have taken to special events and things like that, so.
Yeah. Buses that actually make it to the event.
And buses that make it to the
Yeah.
event.
And back to Bethany.
Yeah.
That's always helpful.
I would say too, you know, this amount's an amazing amount, but a lot of districts through the ESSER funds have spent it in different ways, and both the past administration and Dr. Jasper have done a great job in spending it in ways that are manageable moving forward. So some districts got themselves in a little bit of a bind with personnel costs and things like that, the funds are going away, but those costs don't go away. Most of the things that we've done as a district over the last several years have been things that, as the funds go away, that's fine. We're just moving forward with
Right.
some things. And then some of the money-saving things she's talked about too, we're trying to look at things that will last us for a very long time. And as she mentioned, schedules, things that will save us money down the road too. Energy efficiency, things like that, that while we have the money now, if we spend some here, we're gonna save down the road, so that'll be less we have to spend later on. So doing a great job looking at all those things with Mr.
Yeah,
Hunt.
that's good.
Great.
Yeah, you can
All right, motion to approve financial fund reports.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Pettit. Gone, Jaggers, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, just reading.
That's all right. Item 5, approve the encumbrances for the general fund, non-payroll 984 through 991, $86,078.54 for fiscal year 24. General fund payrolls 70,000 through 70,911. $12,765,312.60 for fiscal year 24. Change orders for general fund $15,651.85 for fiscal year 24. The general fund non-payroll 1 through 160, $3,530,761.62 for fiscal year 25. The encumbrances for the building fund non-payroll numbers 1 through 7, $130,280.84 for fiscal year 25. The encumbrances for the bond fund, number 1 through 2, $557,950,000 for fiscal year 25, and the encumbrances for the seeking fund, number 1, $168,275 for fiscal year 25.
So, we have all of our purchase orders, ready to go for the next fiscal year, so you've got quite a few to look at. So we have some just to wrap up this year, and a few changes we've had to make for this year, and then the next set are the ones going into July 1 and then in the new fiscal year.
On the marquee, 244, which marquee is that? Is that maintenance on it? Is that?
On the new split, are you on the change order report? Yes.
Yes.
I believe that's the high school marquee. And yes, it is some maintenance on it.
Maintenance.
Yes, yes. They've had to do a little bit of work on that. There's been some electrical problems.
Good.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty old, isn't it?
The marquee is new, but there was some problem with how they tied in the electrical originally. They tied it into, as best as I understand, they tied it into some of our parking lot lights, and that was too much all in one place, so they had to rewire. That's also why there's this trench kind of through our parking lot right now, because that's part of that rewiring part. So, yeah, that's I think that's mostly part of that.
Yeah.
Is that trench going to get repaired before school starts? Or?
Yes, I talked to Mr. Mont about that, and he said he's looking into that.
Okay.
We definitely want that fixed.
What did we buy for the children's center? Is that 45-ish thousand?
Yes. So every year, with our 518 federal funds, we allow the teachers to put together a wish list, or so I'm told every year. I'm going with it. We've allowed the teachers at Children's Center and Miss Walters to put together wish lists of the items that they would like for their classrooms for instruction. And so it was lots of learning materials, like there were books, there were numerous books. There were, I believe, some like lighting things to help with lighting and sensory. There was some flexible seating items, things like that. And they were kind of busy this year, so it kind of got put to the end before they got it ordered, but that's where we're at. We got it, so.
Good.
Any other questions for me?
I don't have any questions.
I do.
If you're looking at me.
No, it's just a general look in this area, so.
Yeah, Lisa.
I'll look at Angela.
Alright, motion to approve the encumbrances as presented?
Second?
Roll call vote.
Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Jaggers.
Yes. Item 6, discussion and possible action to approve a one-time $350 retention stipend for all regular certified and support staff returning for the 24-25 school year from the general fund, and a one-time $250 stipend for administrative office support staff returning for the 2024-2025 school year from the general fund.
So I'll explain a little bit. We had originally estimated about $13.1 million in salaries, and we ended up only spending about $12.7 million in salary. We also have a healthy carryover, so we would like to provide this one-time opportunity of a retention stipend for everybody returning. And we just feel like that they've worked hard and we appreciate them, and that's something that we can do right now. Also, an additional stipend for our central office or our administrative office support staff, because this kind of slipped my mind, but last summer they really picked up the pieces for a long time, and I just felt like honoring them. They really kept everything going. They had to learn new systems and they had to do it on their own for a little while, so I felt like we could honor them in that way if you guys are willing. So
What's the overall cost?
So the overall cost for this is probably going to be about $85,000 to $90,000.
Dr. Jasper, what other stipends? I know there's some other stipends that we provide throughout the year. Can you?
Yes. So we do a it's either $200 or $250 stipend back to school when
Back to
everybody
school,
comes back,
okay.
and break time that we provide to people. And then I don't really consider this a stipend because they're coming and working, but
Yeah.
there's a closeout day at the end of the year where teachers come back and close out, and that's not really contract day, so they do get paid for that. But those are the ones right now, yeah.
So between those three, not the last one, but the three,
Uh-huh.
we're right over, a little over $1,000.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right.
And how does that stack up to other districts and such? Do you have
Well,
any idea?
I couldn't answer that,
Okay.
because I have not researched that out, but what I can say, coming from a couple other districts, I didn't ever receive a stipend like that. So, I think it probably just really depends on the district you're in, but that's something that we would have to ask around and find out what they're doing.
So is this proposed to replace the stipend that they receive at the beginning of the year, or this is in addition
This
to
is
it?
in addition
Okay.
to, yeah.
I would add to that,
great.
you know, as we know, people have choices right now.
Sure.
It's
Right.
it's teacher's market, and I would say it's also honoring people for just staying with us, and we know it's a great place to be, but people have choices, and people are getting phone calls, and you know, it's just a slight way to say, you know what, maybe we didn't even know you had a choice, or we didn't know you got a call and you decided to stay, and you know, we never even had that conversation. It's a way to honor those people we may not even know about, and I'm sure they're out there too.
I think it's a great idea to share as we went over the fund balance that we have, even
Yeah,
carrying
I do
over,
too.
like we have the money. I
Glad
think
we
it's
can do it.
good.
Yep.
Yeah. All
I
right.
make a motion to approve item number 6.
Second?
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Jaggers.
Yes. Item number 7, discussion and possible action to approve updated hourly extra duty rates for fiscal year 25.
So this is kind of a new thing that I put together, and you have approved it once, but we had a couple other things come up. So the Indian Education Coordinator got missed the first time, and then we are asking for you to approve some EL tutoring this summer for our English language students, and those are the same rates as the other tutors. They just weren't originally on there. It's something new that came along.
Make a motion to approve item 7?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Jaggers.
Item 8, discussion and possible action to approve giving the superintendent and/or chief financial officer the authority to discard/sell unusable equipment or items for fiscal year 25.
So that's pertains to anything that we just want to get rid of, Facebook Marketplace, whatever, we're just unloading things. The two of you are the only authorized ones to do that. Okay.
Yes.
What are we selling?
Well, this year, we had an ice cream machine. We don't have a lot of things normally, but they're like some bookcases, some filing cabinets, and we don't always sell everything. Like we had some unusable technology equipment, like a fax machine that was 40 years old
Sure.
that we just had someone come out and pick up and destroy. And we have a company that they certify to destroy equipment to make sure there's no information on it. So it's that kind of stuff.
I think it's pretty typical to get this on the books just as things come up throughout the year. I mean, I know we've had vehicles in the past that come up in the auction, so it's a typical thing to
Yeah.
have on the books when it
Yeah.
needs to be used.
I think we do this every year,
Yeah.
but I was just curious what
Yep.
we're.
And it just goes to the
Yes.
general fund?
It does, yes. It gets booked into the general fund.
All right, motion to approve giving superintendent and/or CFO the authority to discard or sell unusable equipment and items for fiscal year 25.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Jaggers.
Yes. Item 9, discussion and possible action to approve converting the school calendar from days to hours per HB 1864 SB 441 for fiscal year 25.
And is this one we have to do every year too?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
All right, motion to approve item 9.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Jaggers.
Yes. Item 10, discussion and possible action to approve the revisions to the 2024-2025 parent and student handbooks for the Bethany High School, Bethany Middle School, and Bethany Elementary School.
So most of these things are just reviewing and looking at change, master schedule changes, things like that, year changes. There are a couple of things that they changed, just bringing some things up to date to how we were practicing them anyways. There's some things about the transfer that really just goes in line with the transfer law, which is appropriate, and there were some disciplinary action type things that switched, but it was really just a matter of Saturday school to a different consequence or something they were just using more so than what was listed here. So there wasn't anything major or a major initiative that they were looking to change in here, just more putting it up to date.
There's big computer usage, Chromebook area, looks like.
In the high school, yeah.
Yeah, for high school.
Which again, I think is more in line with what we've been doing. There may be some little changes here and there, but it's more in line with what we've been doing. And I think also just putting more out there. I wanna say the agreement before was a lot smaller.
It was.
It very much more vague than what's here now, so this is much more detailed and probably good that way.
Something super small, on the high school, we have the mechanical horse, logo. I didn't know if we wanted to keep that or change it to the horseshoe.
Yeah, the district logo.
Yeah, I mean, something small.
We can change that.
It's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
So I didn't take the time to actually look and make sure that each one is consistent with the other between schools, but I would hope that they have the same thing.
Yeah.
It appeared to be.
They do handle some situations a little bit differently for our school, but there's
Yeah.
there's nothing strongly inconsistent.
Substantial. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
that counters each other, I would say.
Good.
Motion to approve item 10.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Jaggers.
Yes. Item 11, proposed executive session to consider the student transfer denial appeals of students A, B, C, and D with a review of confidential educational records and transfer request of students whereby disclosure and any additional information could potentially violate the Family Educational Right to Privacy Act, 25 OS Section 307B7.
Motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad.
Yes.
Good?
Yates.
Yes.
Jaggers.
Yes.
Thank you.
During the executive session, only the members of the board and the superintendent were present. The only items discussed were those listed on the agenda and no votes were taken.
Motion to accept the decision of superintendent to deny the transfers of students A, B, C, and D.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Jaggers.
Yes. Proposed, do I need to read this? 13, proposed executive session to discuss the employment, hiring, appointment, promotion, demotion, disciplining, or resignation of an employee as authorized by 25 OS 307 B1 as listed in addendum A, B, and C.
I don't know that we need to go in executive session,
I think so. Do we need
unless you guys want
vote to do that, or? If we don't wanna go into executive session, do we need to
Nay.
vote?
No.
We do need to vote, okay. Alright, motion to not go into executive session.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes,
Wallstad.
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Jaggers.
Yes.
there's probably a better way to word that.
Well, you'll need to put nays.
Item 14, discussion and possible
Yes.
board action on the employment of support personnel in addendum A for the 24-25 school year.
Motion to approve the employment of support personnel in addendum A for the 24-25 school year.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad.
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Yes. Item 15, discussion and possible board action on the employment of extra duty employees in addendum B for the 24-25 school year.
I make a motion to approve the employment of extra duty employees in addendum B for the 24-25 school year.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Jaggers.
Yes. Item 16, discussion and possible board action to accept the resignations as listed in addendum C.
I make a motion to accept the resignations as listed in addendum C.
Second?
Roll call vote?
Palmer,
Yes.
Wallstad.
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Jaggers.
Yes. Item 17, information items.
No information items?
Okay. Item 18, board member comments.
Dr. Jasper, I would just say thank you for this incredible report as far as from the financial end. It's not quite a year, almost a year, right? What was your hire date?
Yeah.
I think my first day was July 24th.
July 24th.
Yeah,
And
so it was around this time. it was around this time, yeah. That's our
the progress that we've made, the systems that have been put in place, the communication that's taking place from a financial standpoint is incredible. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
all you do in that entire back office
It's my
and
pleasure.
everyone that supports you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Item 19, superintendent report.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Wallstad, for echoing that. And I know you speak on behalf of the board. I would say a lot of the same things, and you just look at the numbers, and the numbers speak for themselves as far as where our district is at financially and the responsibility that's taken place through that. I would add to that a little bit also the business team as a whole working together in that, and besides just the numbers and the great place we are financially as a district. The benefit of that obviously is the flexibility that we have to make big decisions moving forward, and it's just such a great place to be to know that things have been managed in a way that we have options, and that's what we always want to continue to do. But I think about improved processes, improved communication, every negotiation for every little contract we have, Dr. Jasper does a great job of saving money that way as well. So not accepting the first offer that we get. Well, hey, you know what? I don't think we can do that, and I can't tell you how much money we've saved that's not even shown anywhere because that wasn't the original contract that we got. And then of course implementation of new systems like Aptigee and Red Rover that are big changes for us as a district and how we operate, but have been very seamless, and that's due to her and her team in the business office working through a lot of those things and continue to work through those things. So it can't be overstated enough just the job that they've done and to put our district in a position where we have a lot of flexibility, we have a lot of options, and we have a lot of things we can talk about that are exciting because of the place that we're in. So appreciate her and her team for that. And then also, I just want to thank everyone who's participating in summer programming. You know, things don't stop in the summer, and there are a lot of people staying busy, and we've got ESY, Summer Reading Academy that will take place, Bronco Iron, the painting that takes place, and a lot of projects going on. There's a lot of projects this year. The improvement projects, and then all of the summer camps that we have going on, from pom and cheer to all the sports, basketball, just about every sport, you know, having a camp. And it's just great that our kids continue to have opportunities through the summer, as a lot of people vacation and do things. A lot of people are also working hard to keep kids engaged and busy during summer. So appreciate everybody who's a part of that. And then again, just to mention, you know, we talk about better in Bethany, and it's really about looking at things and having a time where we stop and look around at our facilities and look around at things and think, where could we be better? And you know, just the amount of projects Mr. Mont and his team have put together, done, gotten bids on to meet that goal of where could we be better, where can we stay ahead of things, has been amazing. So want to thank him and his team, and just the board support in all those projects. We know they're not cheap, and we know they take a lot of decision making with them, but it's a way to be optimistic that our facilities are going to get better and better instead of, you know, continuing to fall and get worse and worse. So very, very proud of all those teams for all those things. So thank you.
All right, we're adjourned.